Hi guys, welcome to Andrew and Irene's channel where we're documenting our travels as we sail our yacht Saracen, a Beneteau Oceanus 473, around the world, very slowly. We leave St Anne's and set sail to Anne's Darlet. The wind was behind us. Hope it's not like that when we head south in a few months' time. After spending a few days at Petite and Grande Danse Arlet, we move on to Anse Nord. As we passed that anchorage, it had 5 boats in it already. It's a tight spot, and according to the guidebook, this is one too many. So we continue on for a few more miles and arrive at Anse-Métan, which was 3 miles further on, and actually a much nicer spot. Our walk today is from Anse-Métan to Anse-Lan and back. This should have been a short 5 miles or so. No, the walking app that we had didn't indicate the private land, so we had a bit of a detour to do. In hindsight, we should just have played the ignorance card. On the way back, we notice a sign saying danger, crocodiles, and lo and behold, what does Andrew point out to me? Oh! We quickly hightail it back to the boat. Today's walk was about 12 miles in total. We move over to the Fort de France anchorage. This anchorage is very close to the cruise ship dock, and every ship is piloted in. The anchorage was meant to be quite rolly due to ferries constantly coming and going. The crews were on strike, so we landed lucky, and it was a very flat anchorage during the time that we spent there. We visit Decathlon. We had a big shopping list morphing on our phone. Our trip involved us getting onto the Bendy bus. This bus travels between Fort de France and Le Lamentin. It has its own road and it has its own right of way on all junctions, so there's no delays. We booked to do a guided tour of Fort St Louis at the Tourist Information Office in the city, at a cost of €8 each. At 12 midday, the guide appeared and informed the group that the tour would be in English. We were the only English speaking people on the tour, the rest were a mix of French, German and Belgian. It took about an hour and 15 minutes and it was really very interesting indeed, well worth the money. During World War II, all France's gold reserves are moved onto the island, and apparently there's a tunnel linking this fort to another army garrison at the top of the hill. Empress Josephine, the first wife of Napoleon, was born in Fort de France. Unfortunately for her, the need for an heir overcame love, and their marriage was annulled in 1810. We managed to get bus tickets, found the right bus stop and waited for the number 27 bus to appear. Again, this bus was cancelled and we had to wait for a while. However, there was some on-street entertainment which consisted of an angry guy walking about with a machete. Andrew didn't take a video of him just in case it was used as evidence. If you do this walk, remember to bring a torch for the tunnel and swimming gear for when you reach the top waterfall. Through the tunnel we emerged into a beautiful valley, just on the outskirts of the city. It was warm, damp and very humid, like the tropical rainforest I suppose. We walked to the start of the hike, where there was a sign indicating that the walk was closed, but there were plenty others ignoring the sign just like us. We had to go through a dark, narrow tunnel for which we needed a head torch. This was quite spooky. After a little while we came across the first waterfall. Oh, and our first ever sighting of the Antilles pink-toed tarantula, which are the native Martinique species. These fall high from the trees above the river gorge. I freaked out a bit, and Andrew takes a video and photographs of course. The rest of the hike to the waterfall was a mix of gorge walking and pulling up the rocks using the ropes. This was brilliant fun. The gorge walking was very refreshing in the heat. We were treated to our second sighting of the elusive pink-toed tarantula as we approached the very impressive larger waterfall. It was an absolutely stunning waterfall to see. It reminded us of one of the old Bounty adverts. Geez, now we're showing our age. As it had been raining quite a bit overnight, we guessed the waterfall might have been spaked. We could feel the spray and the power from the water where we were standing. Andrew being Andrew tried to get around behind, but it was just too slippy. All in all, this was a great fun hike and we would thoroughly recommend it. And just like that, we're back through the tunnel and into the city again to wait on our bus back to Saracen. We'll leave Fort de France for a short sail up to our next anchorage. The winds are moderate, 16 to 25 knots from the east-northeast, which gives us a reach or a deep reach sail. We arrive after 2 hours and anchor at La Touche, St. Pierre. We visit 2 tourist attractions here in St. Pierre. The first was the museum, which gives the history of the eruption of Mount Pelée back in 1902. The town of St. Pierre was destroyed in the eruption and 22,000 people lost their lives. Apparently, the only person to survive was a prisoner who was incarcerated in a cell in the town jail. A few days later we go to the zoo. While we're not fans of seeing animals in cages, this wasn't that bad, as all the animals looked very contented, fit and healthy. Again, we see another yacht washed up in the shore. A barge comes eventually to recover it. This one is for the bin, as they pull the mast off first, and then they take all day digging it out of the sand. We leave the new car anchored and padlocked to the dinghy dock. Our walk for today involved us getting the bus to Fort Didier to walk the Canal d'Enslaves. The bus we were looking for was the number 3. We've got 3 times for this bus: 9, 9:30 and 10 o'clock. So we're at the bus stop for 8:45, and it was a long wait. Eventually we got on the number 3 bus at 10 o'clock. The canal was built back in 1760 by slaves. The purpose of it was to bring water to the plantations down at the coast, and it was a pretty impressive construction. The path is essentially a wall of the canal, and it's only 300mm wide, with drops to the valley floor below of up to 150 metres. This walk's not really recommended for those that don't have a good head for heights. Then it's a walk back on the road to St Pierre. In hindsight, we should have came to Martinique first, rather than head down to the Grenadines. This would have allowed us to fully restock the boat before heading off cruising. Hey, hindsight. In our next video, we set sail to Dominica. Please remember to leave a like and subscribe to our channel. Saracen out. See you.